Welcome to the GoalZero Toolbox Talk series. Today's Toolbox Talk. Rigging. Rigging is a critical part of construction work. Rigging is used to lift heavy materials to heights with cranes and other devices. Riggers also act as signalmen. Improper rigging of a load or a rigging failure can expose riggers and other workers nearby to a variety of potential hazards. Each jurisdiction has legislated a series of strict rigging requirements. These requirements call for maintaining rigging equipment, properly training employees, and more. Check your local regulations. Rigging and slinging should be considered a system, with each component, hook, shackle, cable, or chain, making up the system. Riggers should take care when using rigging and slings. The rating of the shackles utilized should be equal to or greater than the rating of the slings. Each shackle and sling should be individually load stamped and certified. Only shackles and sling hooks that are load rated by their manufacturer, with a rating appropriate for the load, should be used. Each day before being used, all slings, fastenings, and attachments should be inspected for damage or defects. Damaged or defective slings should be removed from service. A system of periodic inspection should be established to ensure that any deformation or elongation in the shackles and sling hooks does not exceed the manufacturer's recommendations. The functions of rigging are to move and support material. When rigging loads, employees must be able to recognize hazardous conditions, such as improper sling or attachments for the type of load to be lifted and the environment in which it is being lifted. Worn slings and attachments, or those with damage such as cracks, kinks, bends, cuts, gouges, and frayed fibers. Improper storage of slings and misuses such as resting loads on the sling or dragging of slings across abrasive floors. Employees need to identify and avoid hazardous work practices, such as riding slings or walking under suspended loads. Using improperly repaired or reconditioned slings and attachments, or slings and attachments that must be removed from service. Inspections of slings and related rigging hardware are to be done before each use. Any sling that is found unfit for use shall be red tagged and returned to the shop. During the lift, avoid shock loading by taking up the slack in the sling slowly. Apply power cautiously to prevent jerking at the beginning of the lift and accelerate or decelerate slowly. Use taglines that are long enough to control the load, but that keep people out of the swing of the load. When using a sling, there are several key points to keep in mind. Is the sling free of kinks or any other damage? Is the sling rated for the lift? Is the load balanced to prevent slipping? Is the sling securely attached to the load? Are the sling and the load protected from damage during the lift? Is there a clear path for the movement of the load? Are employees and other persons kept clear of the danger zone during the lift? There are good practices to follow to protect yourself and others while using slings to move materials. First, learn as much as you can about the materials with which you will be working. Slings come in many different types, one of which is right for your purpose. Second, analyze the load to be moved, in terms of size, weight, shape, temperature, and sensitivity. Then choose the sling that best meets those needs. Third, always inspect all the equipment before and after a move. Fourth, use safe lifting practices. Use the proper lifting technique for the type of sling and the type of load.